Welcome, bienvenue, willkommen, bienvenidos to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to tell you the 5 things that I've done and I still do to improve my German. This also can be used for any language. So, let's begin. I believe in countries like Mexico and the USA, it's very difficult for people to learn other languages. In some parts in the USA, you have a lot of tourists, a lot of different cultures, a lot of different people speaking different languages. In Mexico, we have Cancun, we have some other places where we have a lot of tourism as well. But that's not enough. Unless you live there, sometimes it's really difficult to get people, places, different scenarios where you can just use and practice your language. So that's why I bring you in this video these 5 things that I've done to practice my languages. Well, in fact, there are going to be 6 because I'm going to give you an extra tip at the end of the video, so stay and watch the video until the end. Number 1, music. So with music you have endless activities you can come up with. So I'm going to give you here a couple of tips for you to notice how advantageous is profiting from music to learn languages. You could just Google the lyrics of the song, right? So you start listening to the song and you start reading along the lyrics. Don't say anything, just read along, just read in silence. Once you get the tune, once you get the lyrics, once you get the intonation and everything, now it's time to sing. Sing out loud, don't be ashamed. Even if someone's listening, never mind about them, you are learning a language. You have to make mistakes, right? Like I said in my other video that you can see over here, you have to make mistakes, alright? So sing out loud, try to mimic the accent, the energy, the rhythm of the song that you're singing. Be patient. Please be patient. You're not going to do it perfectly the first or the second time around. You have to be patient, okay? If you keep trying, you'll manage to get it right. And the best part of practicing with music, with different songs, is that if you get bored or just tired of this one, just get rid of that one. Just get rid of that song. Get a new song. Look for the lyrics and start singing again. Me, for example, when I was first starting to learn the language, I would listen to music for hours, and after I would choose the one that I liked the most that day, and I would try to sing it over and over and over again until I was able to sing it without reading the lyric by heart. Now I don't really look for the lyrics anymore because now I am able to understand what the lyrics are without having to look for them, and that's only because I've been practicing. So if you keep trying and you don't give up, I assure you that you will get better in no time. So have you ever heard of this phrase? Practice makes perfect. It's very true. So keep trying, don't give up. Tip number 2, podcasts. There are many types of podcasts in a whole bunch of different languages. I'm sure you're going to find something for you, for the language that you're trying to learn. In my case, I like listening to Deutsch warum nicht, Alltag Deutsch, langsam gesprochene Nachrichten, and Mission Berlin. Although Mission Berlin and Deutsch warum nicht are produced for Hispanic people, so people that speak Spanish. Langsam gesprochene Nachrichten, Alltag Deutsch, and also you have Coffee Break German. Coffee Break German is for people that speak English, so that's great. These all are produced by Deutsche Welle, and you can find it in deutschewelle.com, or you can also download just the podcast app for your mobile phone, and you can find them there. But if you go to the deutschewelle.com website, you're going to be able to find the transcriptions of the podcast there. Again, you can read along, you can listen to your podcast, and you can read what you are hearing. I assure you that's going to get your listening skills off the roof. Saying or reading along, that's going to make your fluency and your diction way better as well. So for me, podcasts, they are good. They are really entertaining. I wake up and I listen every day to the German news, of course in German. Sometimes I use the transcript to read along. Some other days I don't have enough time, but either way I have to spend at least 1 or 2 hours a day listening to music and podcasts, because that's the only way that you are going to improve. With podcasts you can also also do the transcript yourself. If you don't have the transcript, yes, it's going to take a little bit of time, it's going to take a little bit of effort, but I assure you that that'll get you better in that language in no time. So there you have it. With a little bit of practice, time, patience, you are going to improve a lot in no time. Number three. Number three is actually one of my favorite activities to do, and that's because this tip is about talking with people, making friends, talking to new people, talking to new friends. Get yourself out there so that people can listen to you while you make mistakes, while you speak the language, and they can correct you and they can help you get better at it. So go to Facebook, go to Instagram, whatever social media, and try to look for some kind of group meeting, some kind of site or page, and I'm sure you're going to find a group of people that are practicing the language that you are trying to learn and that you are practicing as well. Just send them a message, send them a DM, and tell them, hey, I would like to practice this language myself. I would like to practice with you. Or are you meeting? Like doing Zoom meetings? Or are you actually going to a place to practice it? I live in Morelia, Michoacán, and here there is a university, la Universidad Michoacana, and there is this group of people that were practicing in German for a long time, even before I got to meet them. One day they invited one of my German teachers to go, and she invited me, and then I made new friends, and then I started to go to these weekly meetings with them. It's fantastic. It's actually really cool because you get to talk to them, you get to make new friends, and the best of all is that you forget that you're trying to learn a language, and then you just enjoy the fact of making new friends. Your goal is to communicate, not to learn the language, and that's why it makes it way easier. So there you have it. Go make friends. Like I told you in the last video, I have a lot of friends in a lot of different parts of the world. There's something new to talk about, and it's always fascinating, it's always challenging, and also fun, and you get to learn very, very different words, things that you wouldn't normally be taught at school, expressions, idioms. This experience is always very enriching, very rewarding, and if you are a shy or timid person, that's okay. Also, there are apps in which you can get to know people. For example, I use Tandem. Tandem is an app where you can just chat with random people, but the aim of this app is to teach and learn new languages or practice your language. So I met this friend from Kyrgyzstan that I told you about in the last video, in Kyrgyzstan, and every time I talk to them, it becomes easier and easier to learn the next language. And she's great. She's already invited me to go visit her to Bishkek, and I'm thinking of going as soon as the pandemic is over. Yeah, I know I still have to wait at least another year or so, but either way, I'm planning to go visit her. I also have another friend in Russia living in Kazan, and I also have friends in different parts of the world. I have this friend in Brazil. We met through Tandem as well, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and we are still in touch. We are still sending us pictures, sending us videos. Sometimes we even make phone calls, and we practice English, Italian, a little bit of Russian sometimes. He practiced Spanish with me, and I get to practice my Portuguese with him. So it's amazing. I am not a very social person, to be honest. I have a little bit of trouble starting and continuing conversations with people. I'm not really talkative, but it's great to be able to do it through an app, because that kind of loosens you up a little bit, and you don't have that like social anxiety, or just if you are afraid of making a mistake, then at least you know that you are in an environment inside that app, and they're going to let you know that you're making a mistake. Also, you can change up the settings. You can say, hey, if I'm making a mistake, just correct me every once in a while so I don't feel like I'm terrible at this. Or you can just say, you know what, correct me every time that you notice that I'm making a mistake. But it's an excellent app to make friends and talk with people and practicing your language. There are a whole bunch of apps that you can use to practice the language and make friends. I also can think of Yubo, which is for people only younger than 25. There's Hello Talk and there's italki. Down in the description box, I'm going to leave you links with those apps, both for iOS and Android OS. So there you have it. That tip number 3: make friends, go out there, use the language, talk with people, and I assure you that that's going to give you more confidence. Tip number 4 is Netflix. Yes, again, Netflix. Netflix is a great platform to watch films, to entertain yourself, to get amusement, but yes, it is also great to learn languages. There is this extension for Google Chrome, the web browser. You just Google learning languages with Netflix, and the first or second option is going to be that extension. You just click there, you add the extension, you download it. As soon as you've done that, you can now go to Netflix. You can start watching your favorite film, your favorite TV series, or I should say Netflix series. But either way, now you'll be able with this extension to watch the subtitles both in whatever language you speak and also the other language that you're learning, right? In my case, German. I use English and German, and I can see both subtitles, and then you can set it up as well to pause after each subtitle so that you can compare these two subtitles, right? The grammar in English, the grammar in German, and it's a great way to practice, to read out loud, to listen to what they're saying, get fun while you are learning the language. Navigate through Netflix, and I'll assure you that you'll find something in the language that you're trying to learn, and that's going to be great using that extension, learning languages with Netflix. I think it's got a red icon. I'm gonna put it up here. So yeah, that's tip number 4, and that's using Netflix. Okay, so now tip number 5. I left this until the end of this video because I know that there are a lot of people that don't like to study grammar. I don't know why people are so afraid of grammar. It's like the maths of languages, right? A lot of people don't want to get near the grammar of the language that they are learning. But me personally, I like it very, very much. I'm a huge fan of the grammar of the languages. I like to study grammar, and I do so using just YouTube and just different pages that I've found in Google. I mean, I just Google German grammar, French grammar, and you are going to find a lot of different websites that are really, really good at explaining things in your language, especially if you speak English. You know that you have an advantage, right? I hope you do, because there are a lot of different resources that you can use, that you can find, just free resources all over the internet, because most of the materials and resources are explained in English. Sometimes it's a little bit more difficult to trying to learn Russian and trying to find things or explanations in Spanish. It's way easier to find them in English. And once that you get to B1, B2, where you are actually able to understand the language when you read it, it's much easier because now you can find explanations in the language that you are trying to learn. So there you have it. Learning grammar is one of my favorite activities. If you are a nerd just like I am, I know that you are going to enjoy the links that I'm going to leave you down here in the description box. And as I promised, tip number 6: shadowing. This is actually a technique that is used by interpreters. This technique is used by interpreters when they are warming up before they start interpreting, or when they are learning to do the actual interpretation. So this technique consists of listening to the input and then just say it in the same language right after you hear it. That's why it's called shadowing. You're shadowing what the audio is saying. To make it even clearer, let me show you with a short video.
Denkt man an die hessische Mainstadt Frankfurt, fallen einem mehrere Schlagworte ein. Goethe-Stadt, größter Flughafen, bedeutender Messeplatz und nicht zu vergessen, einer der wichtigsten internationalen Finanzplätze.
Alright, so I hope it was clear. I hope that I was able to get the message across. So that's shadowing. That's going to help you a lot with your pronunciation. It's going to help you a lot with fluency. I just find it fascinating. I'm an interpreter myself, and I really, really like to do that whenever I'm listening to a podcast or just singing along when I'm listening to music, which those are my two favorite activities to do when learning languages or practicing my languages. And there you have it. That's all for today's video, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, click on the bell thingies to get notifications whenever I upload a new video, and don't forget to check down below the description box where I'm going to give you resources, podcasts, different singers, and just a whole bunch of different resources where you can go and learn languages. And as always, I ask you to please leave in the comment what languages you are learning, what languages you would like to start learning. If you have any doubts, if you have any comment about the videos, or even if you would like me to talk about a specific topic or subject in the future, you let me know down below in the comments. And thank you so very much for watching. See you in the next video. Ciao ciao. By the way, I would like to send greetings to my friends Juan from Brazil and Kati from Russia, and also to Anna in Kyrgyzstan. Thank you very much for helping me with my languages, and I'm really looking forward to get to visit you next year. Até mais. Пока-пока.